Hello, everyone. It's an honor to be virtually here. My name is Fang Fang. I'm the CEO and president of Greater Austin Asian Chamber of Commerce. Throughout this past year, local small businesses across the country have been hit the hardest by COVID-19, and Asian businesses even more so. Many in our community have been targeted with physical and psychological violence. My ask today is that you support your local Asian-owned businesses. This can be done in so many ways. Eat at your favorite Asian restaurants. Give gift cards from local Asian-owned businesses to your loved ones. Like or share a social media post from an Asian business or an Asian business association like us. Talk to your friends about your favorite Asian-owned businesses. Donate some of your time and talents to ensure that they succeed. When our local Asian businesses do well, our community does well. Let's get together and take care of our vibrant and diverse community.
Hello, everyone. My name is Tiffany Chang, and I am the External Affairs Vice President of Asian Pacific American Medical Student Association, otherwise known as APAMSA. I would like to thank Stand with Asian Americans for the opportunity to speak with you all at the Joy Ruckus Club presents I Hate Being Hated. Thank you all for attending. With the rising incidence of anti-Asian hate crimes, it becomes imperative to have events such as these to create a space in which we can express our unified voices in solidarity against anti-Asian hate. On January 28th, 84-year-old Vicha Ratanapakdee, a Thai American, was murdered while on his morning walk in San Francisco. On February 3rd, Noah Quintana, a Filipino American, was slashed across the face on a subway in Manhattan. A week later, an Asian medical student at Mount Sinai was grabbed by their hair, robbed, and kicked to the ground by a man shouting Chinese virus right next to their campus. These deliberate and targeted acts of violence against Asian Pacific Islander Americans are part of a long history of racism that threatens our communities. Our elders are particularly vulnerable and are now being attacked, physically and verbally, more so than ever since the onset of the COVID-19 pandemic. According to the Stop AAPI Hate National Report, over 2,000 anti-Asian and Pacific Islander American incidents have been reported since early 2020, which does not account for the number of unreported and ignored cases. But the onset of violence and racism against Asian communities isn't new. It can be traced all the way back to the early 1800s, when Chinese migrants first set foot in America to build our impressive railroads. The years of eroding Chinese rights in America culminated in the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882. During the early 1940s, while America was embroiled in World War II, Japanese Americans were forcibly relocated to internment camps without due process. In 1982, Vincent Chin was a target of racial hate crime after being beaten to death in Detroit while the aggressors faced no jail time. Clearly, solidarity with Asian communities is necessary. Support for organizations that assist our Asian community will help uplift our voices and the safety of our community. Thank you for listening, and I hope you enjoy the benefit.
I, Christine Lee, on behalf of Asians Coming Together, a separate nonprofit of Xerox, supports Stand with Asian Americans at this awesome event hosted by Joy Ruckus Club called I Hate Being Hated. Asians Coming Together is an employee resource group at Xerox Corporation where the vision it wants to achieve is where Asians at Xerox get the recognition and valued at the corporation based on their contributions and leadership. We strongly are against Asian hate crimes and strongly believe and need for Asian unity. The awful scenes we have seen of Asian descent being beaten, traumatizingly get shot, and even discriminated harshly is traumatizing. When we embrace our strengths from within ourselves and to the world, we can combine all of these strengths together to defeat ethnic injustice. When we see others harm us and our loved ones, we fight back with confidence and compassion. And when we see others that want to support us on this journey, we embrace them and bring them along in this fight. The COVID-19 Hate Crimes Act is a great step towards defeating Asian hate crimes and bigotry. When we understand our past of how we became to be, we can understand how our present actions can affect the future. And when we take strong actions that benefit the future, we're providing a better future for Asian descents to have the strength and abilities to be who they want to be. Before I conclude, I want to say a few words. Never forget our courage, vision, and values.
Hi, I'm Shirley Ng of the Asian American Legal Defense and Education Fund, also known as ALDEF. Welcome to Joy Ruckus Club Presents I Hate Being Hated, a fundraiser to support Stand with Asian Americans. For over a year, we've been sheltered at home due to COVID-19. But for Asian Americans, we have been sheltered at home also because of the tremendous rise of anti-Asian attacks just because of the color of our skin. What accelerated this hate is when people and elected officials choose to use racist rhetoric to blame an entire ethnic group of people for COVID. And when Asian Americans are continually attacked and are told that the perpetrator was just having a bad day, well, that just isn't going to work as an excuse. We ask everyone to stand together in unity and solidarity to condemn anti-Asian hate. We must continue to press local, state, and federal authorities to make perpetrators accountable for their hate crimes by proposing stronger hate crime laws. In 2020 through 2021, ALDEF provided assistance to Asian Americans of all ethnic and immigrant backgrounds who have been blamed for COVID-19 and targeted for hate violence, harassment, and discrimination. We have spoken at several events and conferences about the rise in anti-Asian violence and its historical roots, and we have advocated for stronger hate crime laws. As always, our approach addresses both individuals facing hate violence and the root causes of anti-Asian racism. We are tired of being seen as perpetual foreigners and being told to go back to where we came from. We are tired when others tell our story that fits their narrative. It's time for us to rise higher and unify our voices because there is strength in numbers. We need to be counted, represented, acknowledged, and recognized as Americans. Together, as a coalition, Asian Americans will fight anti-Asian hate so we may get justice for all.